this is Phil Lilley, Lilley's Landing Resort in Marina on Lake Taneycomo. I'm going to do one cast today. It has been one long day. We had lots of boats go out today, and fishing was tough for most people. Even the guide said it was pretty tough today. Not sure why. I guess it's just fishing. Fish don't eat all the time. Still running the same amount of water. I put out a fishing report on Ozark Anglers earlier today, and I shared it with Trout Fishing Lake Taneycomo Facebook page. I need to put it on Lilley's Landing Football Facebook page too. I gave you a bunch of updates on the lakes. We actually had some rain. Moved in about 5 o'clock, and it's actually still sitting over to the east and north of us, and it keeps popping up. We're right on the line. These thunderstorms keep popping up, and one popped up and moved through about 5 o'clock, and it dumped rain and hail on us for over 20 minutes. I've never been in a hailstorm that lasted that long. We had about 15 boats out. All but two boats came in during the hailstorm. We had the kids out in boats, and it was ugly. It was not fun. But we got through it. Nobody got hurt. The other two boats took shelter, and they came in after the storm. But the crazy thing about it was Ryan Titus, my nephew, left after the storm stopped, and he lives up north of town, but he said he got on Fall Creek, got to the strip. By the time he got to the strip, the pavement was dry. That's less than 2 miles from our resort north. That storm was so localized and sat on us for 20 minutes, and the strip and all the way home, the F Highway, was dry for Ryan. It was it's one of those Kansas storms I remember growing up. Anyhow, that's kind of the news. I'm going to fish. I'm going to throw a white jig for a little while, and then I'm going to switch to a darker jig and sculpin and ginger. The white's been working up here, but only down to a certain point, so I'm going to switch when I get down there a little bit further. I'm going to stay kind of in the middle, a little bit on the cold side, and I will just see what happens. Thought instead of looking at me, you'd like to look at that beautiful waterfall. Talked to several people that are still fishing the white jigs and white shadflies up here, and they're still doing pretty good. They're still catching them on scuds, but like I said, the guide said it was a little slower today than it has been. Nothing on the first cast, and I don't think I got a bite either. I think day before yesterday we were up here at this dam, and then Blake was down at the lower dam yesterday. So we are covering the lake pretty good. There's one. Hey, not too big. All the fish I've been catching up here are about this same size. I'm not going to lift the boat, fish in the boat, because this one's got a kind of a bent back. Not very big. Big old belly though. Big, big, big belly. Let me go ahead and turn this a little bit. Oh. I will rant about one thing, and I can't identify the culprit because there are two kayak services here in Branson, Kayak Branson and White River Outfitters. We had an incident today, and I was not up here. I was up here about an hour after it happened. You rent a kayak from these guys, and they'll bring you up here and put you in at the ramp down here, and then you float down to Cooper Creek or the landing, depending on how far you want to go. Under these circumstances, I wouldn't call it dangerous, but I would call it, you better be a good kayaker and know what's going on. Boy, that was a big old fat fish. Sorry I didn't lift him up, but he was ready to go. And we haven't been seeing a lot of kayaks, but one of the services put a family of, and I'm not even sure, I've heard 5 and I've heard 4. Oh, I just missed one. In the lake down here about midday. It was a man and wife and at least 2 kids. They were Indian, which has nothing to do with it except they might not have had a lot of experience at kayaking. And my understanding is that they didn't at all. The gentleman didn't speak much English, according to the guys who pulled him out of the lake. This one's a little bigger. They put him in, and just below the ramp, the way the lake is, it flows, it goes down and it turns and it goes down bank right or to the south. And when you get in the water, you got to canoe across the lake to get into that slot. If you don't, you float right into a bunch of trees. Literally a forest. And there are some trees before you get there along the bank, and it's kind of hard to explain, but evidently the lady and the child drifted into the first tree below the ramp, didn't even get away from the bank. And one of our guides pulled her out. No, he said a ranger, Red Ranger, pulled them out, but they got lodged in the tree too. And they said she just about didn't make it. She was really struggling. The kid, she didn't have a life jacket on. The kid, one of their kids, had a jacket on, and he was able to swim to the bank because he capsized also. I think there was a child with the lady that had a jacket on, and it stayed with the mom, but she had a hold of the tree, but she kept going under. But they got them out. The son, don't know the age, got to the bank. The dad went on down and hit another tree, capsized, and his canoe or his kayak is still wrapped around a tree down there. It's blue. And he held onto the tree until some guys that were renting one of our John boats went and got him. They said that whoever put them in gave them no instructions, did not warn them about fast water. When they booked it, they weren't warned about fast water or lake conditions, and they were not given any instructions when they got dumped out. I don't know about you, but that's borderline criminal. And I hope I find out which service it was, so that the other service doesn't get a bad rap for this. But we've had an issue with the kayak businesses down here in the past, putting kayaks in the lake during foggy conditions and high water conditions. And like I said, it's not that it's dangerous. You've got to respect the water and the current. You've got to kind of know what you're doing. But these people didn't have a clue, and they did not get any help from whoever put them in. I know Chuck Grease, one of our guides, I saw him, and he had picked up their kayaks below the island, and he said these kayaks just came out of nowhere with no people in them. He was sick. He thought they might still be on the island or in the trees or in the water. I don't know. It just very, very poor. And I say that because I don't like to be negative on one cast. But something needs to change. And hopefully word gets to these people that are doing this, or to the authorities. Maybe they can do something, I don't know. But it's not right. It's, like I said, it's borderline criminal. If they were to gotten killed or hurt, that's just not right. Going back up. Ah. You'd think I'd catch a fish right up here at the cable, but I don't think I have since the floodgates are going. I don't catch one till I get down almost to 2, outlet 2. Kind of weird. I get some bites up here. Oh. Ah. I saw my rod move on that one. I'm down to outlet 2. Oh, barely hit that. At first drift, they were hitting it really good. Now they're kind of, I don't know. I haven't caught a real nice rainbow on a shad pattern white jig yet. They've all been, I've had some 18s. Most of them are 16s, 17s. All those big fish are eating scuds, I guess. It's kind of crazy. I did pretty good the first drift. I might be fishing a little bit. Yeah, I am. I'm over on the warm side a little more. I'm not in the same spot I was the first time I drifted this. Isn't that weird that it would differ by that much? Move over colder side a little bit more. And I'm going to switch colors. Using a sculpin ginger with a brown head. I don't think I got that one done on the bottom. Very good. Well, they had boat races down at the landing today on Lake Taneycomo. I think they do that 2 or 3 times a year. They used to have them down at Rockaway Beach, and they still might have them down there too, but so they have marshals that will stop boat traffic from going through. They're at the landing while the races are going on, and then my understanding is they'll do 2 or 3, 4 races or whatever, and then they'll let traffic go through. So you might get stuck there 15, 20 minutes. And I think it was just yesterday. I'm not sure if there's any tomorrow or not. You can tell I'm debating whether to go back up or not. I don't think we're going to. I'm going to make it an early evening. It's been a long day. Yeah, and throw a white jig for a minute, a couple times. We'll move that a little bit. Okay, I'm right at the boat ramp. That right there is basically what you're looking at. And I know with the GoPro it looks like it's a lot further away. But you can see trees along the bank. She got stuck in one of these. And then the kayak's in that one right there. Over there on the side. And then, I mean, all of that you can float into. You got to get over there to go on through. So I know some of you have never been here, so, and those that have been here might not have necessarily seen the water this high and seen, because normally the lake just goes right there, but right now it's just pushing down through those trees and then coming out both sides. Like right now, if I didn't correct my drift, I'd drift right into those trees. One more cast. Still have to move. And I'm coming pretty close to these trees. See? You don't want to float into these trees. Got a drone above me. Oh. People over here on the bank. Oh man. Oh, I got it back. No, it's not them. Somebody's flying a drone over my head. Just one more cast. I kind of wanted to throw this. It doesn't really work. Nah, not working. Going home. Thanks for watching and listening. Write your congressman. See you tomorrow.